Xero is the best accounting software out there in my opinion, so today I'm going to give you a review of it and tell you my reasons why. Hello everyone, my name is Rooshock and today I'm going to be providing a review of the Xero accounting software. Now this is going to be based on an Australian point of view, so if you're in a different market there may be some differences and you may need to do a bit more research. But the reason why I want to review it is because I think it's so important that businesses and maybe even some individuals in some situations where they may be tracking something else are using some kind of accounting software. It makes life so much easier to keep on top of things. The invention of cloud software across a range of different industries has made the software so much more powerful and so much more pick up, grab and go. You can jump on your computer, you can jump on your laptop, on your phone, and you can access your data almost anywhere in the world, which is really awesome and a really powerful feature for business owners. Now you do need to pick what suits you best, so just because I think Xero is the best, that may not be suited to you. Everyone's business is going to be different and therefore everyone's needs and requirements are going to be different. So make sure you do your own research into those and make a decision that makes sense for yourself. Now before I do jump in and talk about why I think Xero is the best accounting software, I do have a Discord now. So the Discord allows me to jump in and talk about business and answer questions like what is the best accounting software, or tax related questions or crypto related questions. And it's also the place where I'm talking about Rooshocks, my NFT project. So I think this NFT project could really provide a lot of value for business owners or for individual investors or just for people that are wanting a bit of help with their tax returns. So definitely jump into the Discord and get the conversation going. I'm really loving the conversations that are happening there, and I really appreciate everyone's support. Anyway, let's get back into the video. So I'm going to go through a few of the key things that I think make Xero the best. So the first one I want to talk about is the ease of use. And what I love about Xero is it's been built with business owners in mind. So it hasn't been built for accountants, and that clearly shows through its ease of use and its terminology they use. So from a business owner's point of view, something you'll notice, for instance, is some of the terminology on the homepage. We have invoices owed to you or bills you need to pay. So it's really easy for you to understand rather than using the terms debtors and creditors. And it's not about dumbing it down. It's just about wording things in a way that would actually make sense to someone that's running a business versus trying to word it in a way that makes sense to an accountant. And accountants typically actually have a bit of trouble when they first use Xero because it's built very differently, especially in the back end compared to other accounting softwares. So the chart of accounts, instead of being stuck to different number codes, they're done through a different method for their reporting, and therefore some accountants really struggle to get their head around how it's going to actually work. I also have found it really easy to use for people that are new to accounting software or new to business, that they can get in there and they find that they're able to pick it up really quickly, which is really important if they're going to be using it for, say, invoicing, or they're going to do their own reconciling, or they need to be running reports. They do find it relatively easy to navigate, which is really important when you're trying to learn a new business and also learn the accounting side of things. Now, one slight negative in this area is Xero is always adapting and they're always evolving and trying to bring new features in. And sometimes these new features lately have been kind of affecting the ease of use because they've made some dramatic changes to the look of things or maybe just some functionality. And a lot of people haven't liked them. They are listening to feedback in these areas and they have already made some adjustments. But anytime a software changes, some people that found it easy to use previously may not find it as easy in the future. One other function of Xero that I really like is their integrations, and I find they're probably leading the way in this compared to some of the other softwares. So they have a whole app marketplace where you can look at different areas of your business that may be using some other software and see if it integrates with Xero, and there's a good chance it will. Now this could be important that if you've got, say, a retail store and you're running a point of sale application software, whatever you want to call it, and if you can integrate that with Xero, there's a good chance that you may be able to push sales invoices through or stock figures, and all these different things could help you be able to run a report in Xero that is completely up to date at real time. If you could have real-time stock figures in your Xero reports, it does make your profit and loss reports, for instance, much more accurate. So by having the right integrations, it can definitely make a business owner feel like they're really on top of their finances. And it's always great if you're running everything through one end system rather than having 4 or 5 different areas you've got to look at to get figures, and then you may be pulling them all out into Excel. The great thing is you can have all this data feed into Xero. Something else I really like about the apps that Xero has is you can go through this app marketplace and maybe even find new apps that you could use. So I've done it before. I'm like, oh, I need a CRM system, or I need a point of sale system. Okay, well, I'm going to start with knowing what's integrated with Xero, because the chances are those ones that integrate are probably the high quality softwares anyway. So I start looking through there and then can start investigating from there rather than trying to go find an app and then go on the back end and see whether that does integrate with Xero. So it's just a great place to browse for other tools that could help your business. And then of course, the other thing that's really important for an accounting software is the actual accounting functions. And I find Xero is really ticking a lot of goals here. Their reporting is really good to use, especially the new report system they brought in a couple of years ago. You can customize everything. You can add formulas, you can add columns, you can add rows, you can group things, you can compare against budgets, all those things. And then at the end of the day, you can still export out to Excel and then make further changes if required. I think this is really important that you can have customer reports and save things and be able to run what's important to your business, because everyone's business is going to be different. Everyone's going to be tracking slightly different numbers or maybe different groupings that they need to know. And I think Xero does that really well nowadays. I think that's definitely improved, like I said, over the last couple of years, the ability to customize your reports and then easily access them. It's really easy to access Xero as an accountant. Now, I think a lot of the cloud softwares are similar these days, but people can just invite me and I can go straight into their file. And this is so much better than the old days of having to get a backup and either try and email that across and the file will be too big, or you got to put it on a USB. The cloud software for accounting has definitely changed the game and has made it so much easier to collaborate with your accountant, maybe with your banker, with a mortgage broker, etc. And I find the software is really good for accountants. You know, we've got things that are aimed at the business owners, such as the bank fees and the easy reconciliation, but we can do end of financial year reports as an accountant, or we can easily go in and edit transactions that a client has coded if they haven't quite got it right. There's lots of ability for me to be able to save time, which maybe keeps my fees down to clients, or it just allows me to focus more on providing more higher end advice rather than transactional data entry. The payroll side, I think, is pretty good in Xero. They allow you to do all your end of financial year reports you need to do, your STP filing. You've got pay slips that are pretty good. So I think that function's really good. And I think overall that most of the functions a business owner would need, Xero's got and does it really well, and it's easy to use. I think the pricing for Xero is quite decent. It's probably in the middle range. There's definitely some softwares out there that are cheaper. There's some that are more expensive. The good thing, I think Xero is relatively clear these days on what that includes. Some other ones are a cheap price point, but then you have to pay a lot of add-ons, maybe for invoicing and payroll and all these different things, and suddenly that price adds up. Overall, I think Xero is a really good software. I think the ease of use and the ability for people just to jump in and use it and not make too many errors, or if they do make errors, their accounts can fix it up relatively easy, is a really strong, powerful feature that Xero has. I definitely recommend it to my clients. You do need to do a bit of research to see if it's right for you, but I definitely think it is one of the leading softwares in the world when it comes to accounting. Hope that video has been helpful. As always, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, check out some of my more content, and leave a comment down below on what accounting software is your favorite, and I'll talk to you again on the next video.